link up on the Instagram, see if we can get like 5 people in here.
All right, I'm in.
In other news, you see Travis Scott's about to perform at halftime.
I did. I didn't know he was until I saw it. Obviously, um, as I was watching the game. But yeah, it's weird.
I know it's so random. All right, let me drop the link.
Is it on ESPN?
Yeah, games on ESPN. All right, let me shoot it out really quick. All right, I'll let you pull the game up. Before we get into Lions talk, though, is is this the worst national championship of all time
I mean,
in the
yeah.
last 10 years?
I tweeted out. I sent a tweet out earlier. I've gotten a few responses for last year's being pretty bad too, but I think this was. I mean, because I'm from the state of Michigan, this one's obviously worse. But I can see the hate towards last
Yeah,
year.
this one sucks.
Those aren't. I don't know, but no, this one's just, and it's just the two worst schools ever. Yeah, it's terrible though.
Yeah,
It's
I mean
terrible. It's exactly how
it's
you.
I don't
It's
know. It just feels. I have felt this way throughout the whole college football playoffs. It hasn't been exciting. Like I was
no, it's too
preseason, I
much.
was kind
It's
of
too
excited
much.
for it. Like the home, yeah, like the home playoff games was pumped for those. Um, I thought 12 teams getting in, we'd get some really good games. I mean, Texas ASU was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
That's really, I mean, I guess Penn State Notre Dame was a close game, but that was a tough watch. Two terrible offenses. Um,
Right.
it's been a dud.
Yeah.
Year one has been
It's
a
just
dud of the college football playoff.
it's too many. It's dragged on for too long, and it ruins the other. For how much it ruins the rest of the bowl games, it doesn't make up for it with with its own product. It's just not good enough to do what they do
Yeah,
to everyone else. But yeah,
yeah,
I haven't enjoyed it. I think it's terrible. I get it's the first year things are gonna change, but when you change, it's terrible. It's boring. The teams aren't great either. That's not their fault. Like the committee's fault. It's just
yeah. I know. I agree. Kind of a down year in college football. Like no dominant
Notre Dame's
team
not the second
this
best team
year.
in the country.
No.
And if I mean, but like I don't think anyone really plays like the second best team in the country. Oh, Oregon was good. Then they sucked.
Yeah, and then they got absolutely
Yeah, so it's like
pummeled.
no one really plays like they're good. So it's kind of like, does it just fall in Notre Dame's lap at their second because they suck the least? Like at the right time, they sucked the least at the right time. It's not even playing good at the right time. It's they aren't playing bad at the right time. So
I feel like this Natty is the epitome of my biggest worry going into the 12 team playoff, which was okay, did we always get the best 4 teams in the playoff? No. We definitely did not when it was a 14 playoff. But what's always made college football so awesome and amazing is every single week matters so much. Every game
mhm.
matters so much. And you have Notre Dame lost in Northern Illinois,
Mhm.
and you have Ohio State who lost to the worst Michigan team in at home. Both these teams lost at home to
Mhm.
bad football teams. And they're playing for the national championship. And like I mean they went through the gauntlet of the 12 team playoffs. I don't know if you can call it a gauntlet, but and they made it here, but it's just I don't know. It just takes away there's no scenario that these teams would have made it in a
No,
4 team playoff
no, definitely
format.
not. Yeah,
So
yeah. I don't know. But the thing, Ohio State's the best team in the country. That's the one thing where it's like I guess they got it right in that aspect. But gosh, I don't know how the best team
How,
loses to Michigan at home. It just doesn't.
how do you feel as a Ole Miss fan that Quinshawn's got 2 touchdowns in the first half?
I mean, I don't care. I don't care. It's not like he left like Ole Miss. Like we basically cut him from our team. We told him to leave. So it's not like we weren't good enough and whatever. We told him to leave. So like if it's our own
Gotcha.
fault, whatever. But like our whole team hated him. No one liked him. He was such a cancer. So it wasn't. I don't know. It's not like I want him back. I guess you could. A lot of people do say they want him back, but it's like our old line wouldn't even help him off the ground. Like everyone hated him. His mom was
Yeah, I
terrible.
noticed
It
that.
just wasn't a good fit. And
Um, as we speak, he just tackled at the 3. Never mind. He was about to get his
you're
third.
score
He
again.
just busted off like a 60-yard run. Yeah, he just got tackled at the 3, so he was about to score again. But all right, we're gonna get into Lions talk for those of you that have joined, the 5 of you in the chat. Um, I just would love to know. I mean, the game is 21-7, and it's about to be 28-7. There's zero chance Notre Dame comes back, right? But
Yeah.
chat, is there any? Are we excited? Are you guys having a good time watching this game? I think this has been maybe the worst national championship in the last 10 years, just hype wise and
Georgia
excitement
TCU
wise.
is
And then the
bad.
game
Georgia
is
TCU was a bad one too.
that's
Which
true.
is which is your fault. I don't know
I
how
agree.
TCU beat you guys. I don't know how TCU beat Michigan.
I
That was
completely agree.
a big spread. That was like a 14,
And I have to say,
or something.
yeah, not Michigan. I don't think they were quite double digits, but they were up there. I mean, they had no business. They had no
Yeah.
business losing that game. And that's a great segue into talking Lions talk because I got to tell you, I saw a video on social media today that got me a little bit excited, and it was comparing Michigan football to the Detroit Lions, where kind of that first year they made the college football playoff, they were the underdogs. And they snuck in. They were huge underdogs against Georgia, got beat in the Orange Bowl. Then the second year, they were no longer the underdogs. They were the favorites and got upset, big upset. But then the third year, they got over the hump. They won the whole thing. And so somebody was tying that to the Lions. And that made me, I was like, you know what? That I like this storyline. I like the trajectory of where we're going. But all right, here's what I want to ask you. This is what I want to talk about. We're going to get into Ben Johnson going to Chicago because we got to talk about that. But I want to know because I'm really curious. Do you put the loss Saturday more on Jared Goff and the turnovers, or do you put the game more on the coordinators and the game plan?
Jared Goff. Nothing. I mean,
Okay.
if Jared Goff doesn't turn the ball for 3 times, that game looks exactly like the 15 games we won this season. We get what we want off. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, it wasn't like there was. And JMO just being an idiot. That throw that play out the window. There wasn't any like objective, like nothing. Ben Johnson did wrong. You can't turn the ball over 3 times, and it just like the drives we had, the one that were JMO threw that pick. We were down 10 third quarter with the ball.
Yeah.
About to actually make this a football game again. We're getting what we want. Side note: why was David Montgomery playing so much? I didn't like at all. He wasn't himself.
Completely agree.
That wasn't David Montgomery. But side, I don't know. That I can't believe he got so many snaps. But no, I think it's Jared Goff. You can't turn the ball over. You can't throw picks, especially when your defense is how it is, which is what we know. We can't stop anyone. And then you turn the ball over and willingly give him points. Just it's Jared Goff.
So funny, because I am. I mean, I agree that you can't turn the ball over 5 times in a playoff game and expect to win. But I think it's funny because I kind of fall to the other side where I put it more on the coaching and the game plan than I put it on Jared Goff. I mean, both have fault in the game, but I feel like you kind of talked yourself into that onto my side there. First of all, the first turnover, the fumble that Goff lost in the pocket when we're in the red
Mhm.
zone.
Mhm.
At that point in the game, we're rushing for over 10 yards a carry. They cannot stop Jahmyr Gibbs. It's 3rd and 1. No matter what play you're running, you could just give the ball to Gibbs, and he's going for 11 a clip. 3rd and 1, and we go empty set, and I believe Montgomery was on the field. Gibbs was not on the field. Montgomery was on the field, and you split him wide left, and you go empty set and throw a pass on 3rd and 1. That's the first what the hell are we doing Ben Johnson moment for me in the game. Now, Jared Goff has to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah.
We will get to this, but the offensive line played terrible
Terrible.
Saturday. Like Graham Glasgow got embarrassed on that, and then Goff gets surprised and hit, loses the ball, and then what ticks me off again? Just what ticks me off there is like, your defense can't get a stop,
Mhm.
and what you need to do is eat clock, run the ball, score points. You have to score points every possession. On 3rd and 1, you have a freebie of a first down. Just turn around and hand the ball off. Get the first down. Live to see another day. Keep rolling. At that point in the game, it's 7-3. You score a touchdown there, you go up 14-3. Completely different ball game. All the pressure's on Washington. Ford Field would have been insane, up 14-3 early, and Jaden Daniels was going to have to deal with that. Instead, the place goes absolutely quiet. They get the ball, they go down, and they score. Now you're down 10-3. So that's number one, and again, that's just as much on Goff as it is on Ben Johnson. But I put that partially, maybe halfway, on Ben Johnson. I don't understand that play call. Secondly, the JMO call. I'm pissed at JMO for throwing the ball, but I don't know. A genuine question for you: when is the last time you have seen a double reverse wide receiver pass work?
The Philly special wasn't a double, was it? That was just a handoff into a.
Kinda.
So
But
never,
that was
never.
right. That was
I'll say never.
right. That was 2018, right? And like, okay, yeah, maybe it's
Right.
worked like a couple times. You see it in college football. The amount of times I have seen teams try to run that play, it never works. I see more interceptions than I see completions running that play, and I just don't understand. You just went for 30 yards.
I
You're
mean,
getting whatever you want on offense, and you run a double reverse JMO pass. We saw JMO's touchdown celebration. We've seen JMO talk to the media. I don't trust JMO to read the defense and make the right throw
no,
there.
but here's the counterpart of that, which if it did work, we're all texting each other saying it's the best play call of all time. When we scored with Teddy Bridgewater in the game, it was on a JMO sweep. It was the exact same thing, just going to the other side of the field. If that safety bites in to come, thinks it's the same exact look, we're free over the top, and then we're money. And I think it makes sense because it's JMO, who that's like all he can do is run fast. And they got burnt on it earlier. If that safety bites in and that thing works, he's so open. I don't know who the ball was even going to. Was it for Amon?
It was to Gibbs. That's going to be my next point.
Okay.
If you're going to run a trick play, I don't think they're letting Jahmyr run 20 yards down the field, even if they think it's a run play, like unchecked. I don't see that.
Yeah.
And so that's like my next point on that play. But no, I agree with you. You set it up earlier in the game on the JMO touchdown, and then you're going to try to run to the other side, but then mix in a pass. I just time and place. The most important drive of the season, you're down 10. You've got to go down and get points.
And that's what we can do. It's not like we're Notre Dame where we have to bring that out to score points.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If it was a tough day on offense, if it was a rough day on offense, then I get that. We were getting whatever we wanted on offense. I think we finished the game at 13 yards a play. Like 13 yards a snap is what we were getting. 500 yards of offense in total. And I just – that's mistake number 2. Like the big mistake. And then you go to the defensive side of the ball. I'm not going to kill Aaron Glenn for having – like, what's his name? That Norris dude? He gets in the game and Tom Brady makes the comment. He has one NFL snap in his career, and it's like, of course. Like, of course. So I can't kill AG too much. But 12 men on the field on 4th and 2, that's
That
inexcusable.
is that one, because that was they were going for it to put the game away. If we get the ball back, we're absolutely in this game. I mean, I don't know.
10-point game.
There's so much. I want Aaron Glenn gone. I don't know. I don't like. I get the injuries. I think there's a point. I don't know the exact numbers. Uh, Gene Daniels had 13 completions for 230 yards.
Yeah.
He got whatever he wanted,
Well,
and he could run the ball. Like the it didn't look like we prepared at all. We got bailed out that first drive. Bailed out. That they got that
yeah, I
Mark
know.
Mariota. Well, I don't know what the hell happened there, but it was just. I don't know how. I would have thought with the team like we have guys interview, we have teams interviewing our DC for a head coach. We get a full week to prepare for a team, 2 weeks to prepare for the playoffs, and we come out and just get. They scored 40. We got humiliated. They scored 45 on us. Like not. It didn't look
45
like
points.
we.
Rookie
It was.
quarterback.
Yeah, it just didn't look like there was any preparation done. I just don't know how it's even possible. Like how that's we got killed. No one made a play. Branch didn't. No one did anything good, remotely good. No one. It was
No,
terrible.
I know. And that's so I'm with you. I'm in the camp like I would have liked for Ben to stay, but I'm
Mhm.
not super worried about the offense, and we'll get to that in a second. But AG, I'm ready. Like, go take your head coaching position. Like, I'm sorry, but blitzing and playing single man coverage in the back end is not a scheme. Like, that's what I do when I'm playing Madden or NCAA football.
Right.
Like, it's not really a defensive scheme. And so, and then what blows my mind is, to your point, you had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You had the bye. You knew you were playing the Commanders. The Commanders are coming off a short week, by the way. They played
Mm-hmm.
Monday
A
night
day
in
short. Yeah.
Tampa, and then they had to turn around and play Saturday night. And to come around and you make zero adjustments and you just run the same defense you've been
Yeah.
playing all year that hasn't been working with the injuries, and then the moment a meat goes down, and then you lose Iffy, and then you lose Branch, like how do you not make adjustments? And Tom Brady talked about it on the podcast. He's like, or the broadcast, and he was making the point. He's like, at some point they have to change the scheme up. Like they can't do this all game. It's not working, and they never once made an adjustment on defense.
Yeah. It was a terrible defensive effort. It was terrible. Like it was worse than I could have. I didn't take the Vikings game too seriously. The defense there. I never thought we were that good of a defense. Like how we played that game. So I wasn't expecting us to come out against Minnesota and look like that. I thought we'd be in some sort of playoff form and have a little bit of like resilience. The only bit of fight we had was when we got lucky that first drive and they stopped them at fourth down. That was it. It was the only time we put up a
Yeah,
little
and
bit
it
of a
was
fight. And it was just they punted one time. I think
botch
it was the third
snap.
quarter. Turned over on downs,
Yeah,
punted
they
one time,
punted.
field goal.
Yeah, they punted out of the half, and that was again. I mean, just kind of getting a little
Yeah,
bit
which
lucky.
it was terrible, man. It was terrible.
It hurts.
I don't
So,
even
all
know where
right,
we
real
got.
quick.
Where did we go? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. I'm just curious. The few we've got in the chat. Are you guys with us? Like everybody cool with AG moving on and bringing a new DC in? And while we're waiting for people to respond, Ty, you made a good point with the Minnesota game. I was the same way. Like, okay, that was an awesome defensive performance. We held
Mhm.
Minnesota to 9 points. But to be fair, like go back and watch the tape.
Yeah,
It's exactly what happened in the playoff game with the Vikings. Dude, Sam Darnold holds the ball for 8, 9, 10 seconds in the pocket. If you could get home
yeah,
in 10 seconds. If you suited up, if they put shoulder
yeah.
pads and a helmet on you, you might get home and get a sack on Sam Darnold if he
Might
holds the ball for 10
might get
seconds.
a strip sack.
Yeah, yeah, take it to the house. Like Jared Verse did in the playoff
Yeah,
game. So, yeah, I feel like I don't know, like you go back and you watch that tape and that's more on Sam Darnold being Sam Darnold really than it was on the
yeah. And we
scheme cuz
weren't.
all we were doing was
And
blitzing.
he was missing. We were at that game. He was missing throws like crazy. And they what two? They turned the ball over on downs twice in the red zone. Could have been three times.
Yeah,
I mean, they should have scored one of
twice
them.
on twice on fourth down, he had dudes wide open for a touchdown, and he
Yeah.
just
Yeah, he missed
plain missed
Meadows
them.
wide open, which is hard to do, to miss Justin Jefferson wide open. I mean, he played terrible.
Wide
It
open.
was they should have scored more points, but I didn't think it was like I don't know. I wasn't like basing that game on. I didn't have any extra hope. Uh,
Yeah. No,
defense
so
this game.
I mean, in yeah, just kind of wrapping it up. Like I with the divisional game, it sucks. I mean, it's January 20th, and we're having conversations about who's going to be the OC, who's going to be the DC, instead of
Yeah.
prepping for the Eagles next week. What hurts me the most is I sat down to watch the Rams Eagles game,
Mm-hmm.
and I watched the first half, and I kind of had this thought. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we probably lose that NFC Championship game with just how banged up the defense is. No idea if Branch would have been able to play. If he's probably not playing. Meek definitely not. He broke his
Yeah.
arm. And it's like, man, are we going to be able to beat either of these teams with the defense decimated like that? And then the Eagles win, and Jalen Hurts gets injured late. So just
I
to
think
think about, you would have the Eagles coming into Ford Field against a team that's been really good against the run in the Lions, and probably not have to worry too much about the passing attack. Like
oh
there was definitely a scenario for the Lions to outscore the Eagles in this game.
100
It sucks.
100%. They that offense. I'm not. It's Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts has never been considered a quarterback ever, and by anyone who's ever watched
No,
football, he's not a quarterback. I
he
saw
throws for 120 in every playoff game.
yeah, he goes yeah, he had like 3 games 120, a 170, and like a 140. Like he's not a quarterback.
Yeah,
He can run the ball. I would much rather after looking at everything like knowing we know the defense, I'd rather play the Eagles 100%.
1,000%. And that's what
Stafford
we would have gotten in
and Stafford.
Eagles with a banged up Hurts.
Yeah. And
And
well,
that's what.
That offense is, I think, way better than LA. Stafford's way better. Puka is the best player on
Oh,
the team. I'd rather Puka the cooler than Saquon Barkley. Puka is
the
nasty.
Rams the Rams win that game if the weather
Yeah.
cooperates.
Yeah.
If it's normal
I mean,
weather, the Rams win that
the
game.
Eagles have a better defense, so like they're the better team. The Eagles are, but like, in terms of maybe we stop an offense, we would stop the Eagles more than we would stop the Rams. We'd make
Agreed.
Cooper Cup look young again, which is no one's been able to do. We'd make him look like he's
I know.
20.
I know. It's crazy. He plays the Lions. He's wide open, vintage cup, and then
Yeah.
he goes the rest of the season and doesn't do anything. He's probably going to retire. So, all right, we're going to get into the coaching discussion. Before we get there, though, Craig, you brought up a good point here. Just real quick, who do we draft?
That's what
You
I
go
was.
defense,
Uh,
defense, defense, defense. Maybe sprinkle in some line help. I think that's one thing that I haven't seen enough people talking about. Taylor Decker, I love the dude. He's been awesome as a Lion. He was bad down the stretch. Frank Ragnow was playing injured. He is widely known as one of the best centers in the league. He played bad down the stretch. And then Graham Glasgow, dude, was atrocious.
yeah, but we can't.
We
There's
need
no
some
way
help on the offensive line.
we cannot draft the top 3 rounds. You cannot go to the offense.
No, you got to go defense, defense, defense.
I mean, even
And
how bad our offensive line might look, our numbers are insane. I don't. We don't have a mobile quarterback and Jared Goff deals. We have 2 of the best running backs in the league. Like they numbers wise.
Yeah.
Like we produce. We don't produce in defense. I think all the attention.
yeah,
It's
yeah, you got to get defensive linemen, linebackers.
corners.
Not a lot of teams are taking backers in the top 2. Corners. I mean, there's so many what ifs this season, right? Like Carlton Davis
Mhm.
breaks his jaw. We never even saw Ennis Rakestraw.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, he had a first round grade, right? Like he
Yeah.
had a first round grade coming out, and he fell to us in the second. We never even saw him. What can he be? Are we going to see Terrion? That's another thing. Like Terrion did not have a good rookie year, but I think part of that is the Aaron Glenn system, and we were asking Terrion Arnold to play press single man coverage on NFL wide receivers as a rookie defensive back.
Yeah,
Like it's just tough. And so I don't know. I don't know if Terrion's going to pan out, but you got to go defense, defense, defense. You get Hutch back, you get Aleem back. We have Za'Darius on contract for another year. So Za'Darius on the other side of Hutch. I mean, we got a scary defensive line, Reader and Aleem in the
yeah.
middle.
No, D
Um,
line's fine.
I
D
think
line's
yeah, and I love our interior linebackers and Anzalone and Campbell, but I think you
Yeah.
could use some help at linebacker. You could use some help maybe in corner. But again, there's just so many question marks at corner.
We have two guys that can remotely hold their weight in Anzalone and Campbell. We don't have. I don't even know. I guess everyone hurt. As of like right now, we have zero cornerbacks that can do anything. Like we have two linebackers that could
Yeah,
make a play maybe for us. We don't have a cornerback that could help remotely if we needed it. And it's just like
I
it
know.
was like high schoolers. And it's just like, dude, these guys aren't even. You can throw the whatever 1, 2, or 3 receiver, whatever one you want, you can throw to, and he's probably open. So ugh, I don't even know where to. I don't even know who's hurt and who's on our team next year. I forget who
Well,
even
I mean,
has.
this is what's so crazy. This is what's so crazy. It's like you feel the start of next season is a completely
Yeah,
different
yeah, I
team
know.
because of the injuries. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, here, this is just off the top of my head. I can go through. Here are starters that got injured throughout the season. Anzalone, he came back. Derek Barnes, who's an outside linebacker and he's really good at getting after the quarterback. Obviously Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, Marcus Davenport. He's not on contract, but he got injured, first game of the season. Um, there's another defensive lineman in there. Oh, Makai Wingo, injured. He was a rookie who doing pretty darn well. He was injured on the defensive line. Carlton Davis in the secondary. Rodrigo. I love Rodrigo. Like he's not a
Rodrigo. Everyone loves Rodrigo. He's a
yeah, he just makes plays. He just finds ways.
he's,
He's in the right
he's
place, right time. He finds ways to make plays. Iffy, Ennis Rakestraw. Like that is an entire. Amik Robertson obviously broke his arm in the
yeah,
last game, but
yeah,
that's an entire defense. Like that's a
yeah.
high
No,
caliber
it
NFL
is.
defense.
Yeah, it really sucks. And we were talking about this when everything started happening. What game was it when they really started falling? When we had 21 guys in the injury report.
Uh,
Maybe the week before the Bills.
that would have been. It was a cut. Yeah, it was. We lost some dudes in the Bills game. It was right around that time of the
Yeah, and it
season.
was like on Twitter, and it
And
was like, are we, like, everyone's like, I hate to bring it up, but like, how are we feeling? And everyone's like, I mean, we know we're good, but we can't. It was iffy. And then we knew what
we
happened
talked
with the
about
Bills.
it.
No one was shocked what happened with the Bills. It's just what's going to happen when you play a good team.
No.
So
Yeah. When you play Josh Allen and you've got
it was,
like
yeah.
electricians in the secondary,
Halfway through
you
the year,
have
we're the best team. We're the
you
best
got
team of all
an
time.
electrician.
Right. But halfway through the
Yeah.
season, we're the best team of all time. We're one of the best, literally one of the best teams of all time. And we're totally, totally in control of it. And then within 2 weeks, we lost half our guys. And it was just like, that quickly went from our own destiny to controlling our own destiny to totally out of our hands. And it's just like, can we hold on and just hopefully keep scoring points in offense? And the answer is no. It was just we just kept losing guys.
Yeah, it's the most Lions thing of all time. You've got the best team in the NFL. We've got the best team in Lions history. I've talked about it a little bit on the pod. The offense this season is third. It's sorry, fourth all time, and the other three greatest show on turf, '07 Patriots, Mahomes' first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're talking like this is a
Yeah, we're
all
talking.
time offense that got squandered.
Yeah.
An
No,
all-time offense that threw Jamison Williams into triple coverage in your biggest drive of the season. All right,
yeah, it was tough.
let's talk a little bit of who we
All right.
want at OC, who we want at DC. Let's start. We're talking so much defense. Let's stick with the defense really quick. So Glenn's gone, and by the way, I don't know if you saw. I mean, Dan Campbell confirmed that this morning before the Ben Johnson news broke. Dan Campbell did a press conference this morning, and he said he's expecting both guys to be gone. So
Yeah,
he's going to start the process. He's not rushing.
which is good.
Going to get them replaced.
Both going,
Yeah,
just good. Totally fine with that.
clean slate, new beginnings. We'll get into it. Um, do you want them to go outside for the hire? or would you rather them promote somebody internally
Defense,
on the defensive side?
I want him to go outside. Defense
All right,
outside,
I
offense
agree.
inside.
Give
I
me
think
your
we
dream
said you
candidate.
said that earlier. I think you texted that.
Give
Yeah,
me
I
your
think
dream candidate at DC. I think we have the same one,
we're
but
the
we'll see.
same one. Yeah, Salah.
Robert Sala.
Yeah, yeah, that's just the guy. But I was doing some research. A lot of talk about Kelvin Shepard, the internal hire. A lot of talk about that, which I don't get. Why? Money? Is it a money thing?
I don't
Like,
think so. And here's my take on it, and I hope I'm right. I could be wrong. This is what always happens, right? Like when something like this happens, Schefter's going to get in, he's going to start reporting things, and I don't know if I trust it. Like I just don't know if I trust on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Dan Campbell watches film like we watch it. He knows what's going on in the team. Um, I don't think with this much talent and with your Super Bowl window open, I don't know. I don't see you naming a first time defensive coordinator to run the same scheme that Aaron Glenn was running, which has
yeah,
proven to not be a winning scheme.
yeah,
So I don't know if I trust it. I hope that those aren't right. I think Dan is going to make the right decision,
yeah,
and if Robert Saleh is available, now that's a big scheme change. The type of defense he likes to run, opposed to what Aaron Glenn was doing, wildly different. But his defenses have been
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Whether he
And
was
you
in
get the
San Fran, whether he was in New
yeah,
York.
yeah. The one thing I'll say about hiring internally is the attitude of this team last 3 years. I can see the appeal of hiring someone's already. That was what was it 3 years ago? We were 1-12
Yep.
when we won the first game or whatever.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
get the appeal of getting someone who's been there through all this, and like obviously the amount of heart we see from Dan Campbell. Someone who sees all the emotions, who's been there for all the emotions. I get someone who compared to bringing someone in who wasn't part of this the whole thing. I understand the appeal, and I don't really care on the defensive side. It can't be worse. Like it's not like it was that bad there. It wasn't bad there in Glenn at all. It just like how the season ended. Our defense isn't gonna be worse. Like I'm not gonna start next year with like, wow, our defense got so much worse. That just because of injuries, I have such a bad taste in my mouth. So it's just like get someone in there. I don't know. Just make it
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. No, I think no matter what, it's going to be an upgrade. Just personnel wise, it's going to be an
Yeah.
upgrade with the injuries and the guys we got coming back. But yeah, Salah would be my dream hire.
Mhm.
Dude is proven. He understands. I mean, he's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Had really good defenses in New York, and I think it's safe to say he wasn't the problem in New York. Like we can say that based on the way that their
Well, he's just
season
not a head
went
coach.
after they fired him. Yeah,
Really,
and some dudes are like that,
defensive hell
right?
forever. Yeah, he's a defensive dude, and then you hire him as it's like Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan
All
was
right,
defensive.
I'm gonna throw two names out, and you actually just took one of the names I'm gonna throw out. But I'm gonna throw two
I
names
was
out
gonna
here
text Rex
that
Ryan
are.
earlier. I was gonna text it.
I'm gonna throw two names out. Rex will be the first one that we talk about, but two super gross names. And chat, please let us know who do you guys want to see as the DC in Detroit next year. But two really gross names. Rex Ryan is one.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you know this, his son is on the staff. His kid is a
I didn't
is
know
a
that.
position coach for the Lions. Yeah, so he's familiar. He knows what's going on in the
Yeah,
building, and he's a defensive
he's
mind.
a
He
defensive dude.
just interviewed for the Jets. His personality would fit so well in
That's
that
the thing.
building.
It
I
is
don't
so.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still got it. I don't know if he still
No,
got it, but that's a name potentially if they go
fun one.
outside.
It's a fun one.
Here's a really gross one. Who was a terrible head coach but a really good defensive coordinator?
Start with an M.
Matt Eberflus.
Oh, I thought, dude, we can't go. No, he was bad, dude. No, I'm not on board with that one. I'd much rather Rex Ryan, dude. That's terrible. I mean,
I
yeah,
hate Matt Eberflus the person, and I love Rex Ryan the person, but I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Matt Eberflus was a hell of a coordinator, and he was a bad head coach. So,
In chat, we
do
got
do
we got Barstool employee recommendation in chat.
ooh, hold on, let me throw this on the screen real quick. A
Gruden.
little Gruden action.
I
Now,
love it. I love that happening.
Gruden's always been an offensive guy.
He's a quarterback, dude.
He's
He's
an
a quarterback
OC.
guy.
Yeah, he's an OC offensive guy.
That means he knows defenses,
But
though.
that means he knows defenses inside and out.
Yeah, more than
He
offense.
would, and he loves the Lions. If you watch him on Barstool, he
Yeah.
absolutely loves the Lions. That might be a name if they go outside. We'll switch over to OC now, but if they go outside on the OC hire, Gruden, I would be so
That would be
down for
fun.
Gruden in
That'd be
Detroit.
fun.
That would
That's a
be
football guy.
hilarious. Okay, OC. I'll give you my thoughts. This is where I think that you don't have a choice. You got to stay internal with the OC. Just Ben Johnson's awesome, and he's top 5 play caller in the NFL. But to be fair, like the offensive line, the wide
Yeah.
receivers,
Oh, it's
Jahmyr
loaded
Gibbs, David
offense.
Montgomery, like. Yeah, what you don't want to do is bring an outside hire in on the offensive side of the ball. Goff's got to learn a new playbook. Maybe it's not necessarily tailored to some of the things that Goff likes to do. And then you see some regression. I wouldn't. I don't think. I would be shocked if they go with an outside hire on the
Yeah,
offensive side of the ball. So there's
I
two
agree.
names. Mark Brunell used to be an NFL quarterback. He's the QB coach, and Goff has really credited Brunell with like his big turnaround that he's been like instrumental in Goff's turnaround. So I'd watch out for Mark Brunell, quarterback coach, and then, dude, I can never say this dude's name, but like Tanner
Yeah.
Engstrain, something like that, the
Thanks,
passing game coordinator.
That's who I have written down. And just that's who I have in the internal.
Okay, so we're on the same we're on the same page on both
Yeah.
sides of the ball then, because in chat, who do you guys want to see as the OC?
This is the
Two
fun
questions.
one. Everyone
Yeah.
cares about
Do we think they promote internally, or do we think they go outside hire for OC next year?
Can I say some fun names? Can I say
Yeah,
one
let's
really
get some fun
name?
names going. Aaron, I appreciate that. That's my tiger hat. This is the Schmitty special.
One really fun name here. I don't know his contract at his current school. I don't know anything. I haven't looked into him or his contract or anything. But just with the offense
Lane?
he has right now and what he's doing with it, Chip Kelly. Who says we can't just pay him more money than Ohio State? I mean, he has Ohio State looking insane this playoff. Why not? They have receivers like two good
Wow.
running backs. It's the same thing. Good old line. It's the same thing.
Wow.
Quarterback.
My brain would have never gone there in a million
Yeah.
years. Okay, I tell you this. Chip Kelly absolutely would rather be in the NFL than in college football.
But he loves Ryan
Absolutely.
Day. Ryan Day's his boy.
True.
That's another problem.
Yeah, but would you rather work for Ryan Day or Dan Campbell?
I know. Another one I have, which
That's a
will not happen, but we've only seen success. We've only seen a lot of points get scored with this guy. Never a championship. A couple Heismans. I got Lincoln Riley. Just a name. He's a quarterback dude. We need. I don't know. He's fun. He's a West Coast guy. He played in the Big 12 for years. Don't know. He's had what, 3 Heisman
Lincoln
winners?
Riley. Yeah, no, he has. That
Okay.
is okay. You know what's crazy with that
Tyler
take?
Baker? No, Baker. No.
Baker, yeah,
Caleb Kyle Baker.
yeah, and then he got Hurts there.
Yeah.
Hurts was in New
I
York.
mean, the dude did. I mean, it's not like we're recruiting guys in the NFL, but I mean, he makes quarterbacks look good. He doesn't really win, but he's always been a head coach. Put him in OC and let him do his thing for fun.
So, all right, I have a take on this because my brain has not even started going to potential college dudes coming up, and Lincoln Riley is really interesting because if you're Lincoln Riley, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you would never see a college head coach go take a coordinator position in the NFL. If they're going to make that jump, it would be for a head coach position. But, dude, we saw it with Chip Kelly literally left UCLA head coach to go be an OC at Ohio
He was really
State.
bad at UCLA. That's one thing though. He was
He
terrible.
was. But these coaches have made it very clear, like the new college football with NIL and with the transfer
Hmm.
portal, like they just don't like doing it. And USC, I mean, he's on the hot seat at USC,
For
and
sure.
the fan base is not happy.
For sure.
That's
It's
something to keep. That might be
a
something to
huge
keep your
program
eye
that's
on. It.
paying him a ton of money. I mean, he had the two Heisman guys, and Jalen at Oklahoma. Or USC throws the book at him, gets him there. They get Caleb there. Everything's going well. Because that was a part of the thing. Because then Caleb came in after Rattler. Caleb looked at the
Yep.
truth. Transfers to LA, brings Caleb with him, and then but same thing with Oklahoma. Can't really win games. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
things. A couple
Well,
Heisman's.
it was always the defense, right? Like it was
Right.
they never
Right.
had a defense to complement their
Which is
offenses. So
so perfect.
which
They will only let him play ball
Salah,
one side of the ball.
a little Salah Lincoln action.
But I
I
think
like
Shapiro's
this.
a
I like
dream.
where
He has Ohio State looking insane. And it's the
I like where your
same
head's at.
team.
Which, by the way, Ohio State is currently driving. They're up 31-15, if that means anything
What?
to
Did
you.
I name scored again?
So, um, but that is really interesting. I like the college coordinators. So, okay, if you had to put money on it right now, who do you think is the DC and who is the OC for the Lions next year?
Who are we even looking at externally? Do you see? Do you even know? Are there even names out there yet?
No, we haven't gotten to that point of
Yeah.
external names on the DC side. So it's tough, right? It's really tough to make this call right now. But just
Yeah.
today, January 20th, you had to put money on it. Who's the DC next year?
If I had
Who's
put
the
money
who's
on
the
each
OC?
one, I'd go Kelvin Shepard and Tanner Ingstrand. Just because
Inkster.
if I had to put money, I'm just gonna bet on internal guys because we have no clue if any of these guys are if Robert's even looking to coach. I don't know. He could be in Cancun for a year. Who knows? So like,
I like to
I mean,
gamble.
that is true. I do like good odds. I go
I
Lincoln
like
Riley.
juice. I'm gonna if the fun scenario is Salah and Lincoln Riley or Chip
That's just
Kelly or just some random someone that no one's even thinking about right now.
yeah.
Um I really like Salah. I think if Salah doesn't get a head coaching position, he's been rumored to potentially go back out to San Fran with the Niners. But if you're Salah and you have an
Head
opportunity to come
coach.
into Detroit,
San Fran's the head
what's that?
coach.
No, as the DC.
Oh,
If he doesn't
oh,
get if he doesn't get a head coaching job, the rumor is San Fran wants him back as the DC. But if you're Salah, would you rather go DC out in San Fran or come back home? You're a Dearborn guy. Work with Dan Campbell,
oh.
go
Mm-hmm.
win a Super Bowl, and then you'll be a hot candidate for head coach next cycle.
Yeah.
So Salah would be my dream. Lincoln Riley would be a ton of fun at OC. I really like Drew's suggestion of Gruden at OC
Gruden would
as
be
well.
just the
But
energy. Oh, Rex
it's
Ryan.
gonna
That's a
be
fun one right there. Rex Ryan, Dan Campbell, Gruden. I want that locker room right there.
that that would be all time. That would be an
That
all
would be
time
all the
like
time.
just content coaching staff
Yeah.
right there. But no, on the OC, it's gonna be it's gonna be Tanner or it's gonna be Brunel, I think. But it's fun to think about some of those other options. DC, the dream would be Salah. I really like Calvin Shepard, but I don't know if I don't know. I'll trust Dan in the
Yeah.
decision he makes, but I don't
And
know if I love it.
Salah just looks like a dude who can just crush you. You know? I want my linebackers looking like my DC.
Yeah,
I
that
want,
little
I want, I mean, he just
the
looks like
hat he wears,
he just looks
the
angry
baggy
all the
beanie
time.
he wears. Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I need the sideline.
we need that. It's grit.
Ben did not look
Well, what
angry.
was his thing?
Ben
No,
never looked mad. Like,
we need some passion,
a little bit of
some
heart.
emotion.
Mhm.
Yeah, some grit. That's one thing. Going back to the game Saturday, we got out gritted. That's never happened.
We got what's a short way of we we just got beat horribly. We turned it over. We did what losing teams do, which we don't do.
Yeah,
We turned the ball over, couldn't play defense, and they didn't mess up ever. And that's it. They let us beat ourselves. We
got out gritted.
we just it was just like we just got beat. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was awful, dude. What a nightmare. What a
It's
nightmare.
yeah, it's actual nightmare scenario. But
Like, we don't
all
even
right,
get the
we're gonna
fun
finish.
of the NFC Championship. We don't get
I
the
know,
fun of watching it. And losing that game to the Eagles, they always were our worry. We got whooped by a rookie. We just made him
I
the
know.
best rookie of all time.
Cliff Kingsbury. That's
I like
that
Cliff.
hurts.
I like Cliff.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just want something about his face. I just want to punch him when he's on the side. They cut to him on the sideline. I just want to smack the face.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, I know it sucks so bad. It's just it's the Lions. I'm 28, and this has been 28 years of
yeah.
this as a Lions fan. It sucks, but okay, this will be where we finish. I got my opinions on Ben Johnson to the Bears. I just want to hear before I talk. What's your opinion on this? Because people are all over the place on this, and I want to get your opinion on Ben Johnson staying in division, going to Chicago. What are your thoughts? You pissed? Do you not care? Somewhere in the middle.
Um, I got something.
Soft. Overrated. Pretty boy. A bitch.
That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel because,
Oh,
and I'll be brief about this. I don't care where you go, Ben. Don't care if you stay in the division. Don't care. That's your decision. But then we lose, and I'm a little upset. Okay, and then comes out today a quote from Ben Johnson hiring the dude out of I don't even know who he's even hiring. I didn't even read those.
Dennis Allen.
Yes, you tell me you've already been working. Yeah, Jet tweeted about it. That's who it was. That's how I saw it. And that's why I'm just like, you interview in the bye week, and it just makes complete sense that once the Lions lose, he is going to make X amount more $1 million because he's done with Detroit, and he knows he's leaving, and then he gets all these interviews done. And our bye week, we go out, lose, we could look terrible on his job on offense. We look awful. The next day, 2 days he's gone. He's already working on pulling people. It's the classic. It was his mind elsewhere, and now it makes me mad. I don't care where he goes. I don't care. Yeah, Minnesota or Chicago sucks. Like he's probably gonna. The offense is too loaded. They're probably gonna be decent, or they're gonna be the Bears and suck forever. But it just makes it look like his head was elsewhere, and it looked like it. That's how we played. So I don't care. And now I want to beat him really badly. I never want to lose the Bears ever in my life again.
Yeah,
I wish you went to LA.
I'm in the
Or
same
Vegas.
boat.
I never want to play him. I don't want to play
Yeah.
you. I don't want to
I'm
hate
in
you.
that you went. It's not that I'm not saying, but I couldn't care less.
So I don't care.
Real quick, you can hear me, right? Oh yeah,
Yeah, you lagged for a second.
there we go. Yeah, I lagged for a quick sec. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not pissed that he went to the Bears because here's my take on the Bears. The Bears are the Bears. Ryan Poles is still their GM. They don't have an offensive line, and your quarterback he's a rookie. He's super talented, but we saw it this year. It's not college football. You can't play quarterback that way in the NFL, and he was bad this year. And so your wide receiver one is the biggest diva of all time. Have fun with that. You're going from Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't know if there's ever been a wide receiver one that's less of a diva than Amon-Ra. And you're going from that to DJ Moore, who's an absolute diva. Your wide receiver two is bald, like Foley, and Keenan Allen. And Rome's a stud. But it's the Bears. They don't scare me next year. We're going to sweep the Bears next year. I feel confident in that. What pisses me off is the same thing that you just said, is as this stuff's kind of started trickling out, you don't get hired this morning in Chicago and then pick up the phone and call Dennis Allen and say, hey, do you want to come be my DC? And then he says, yeah, and then boom. Like, it doesn't move that fast. Yeah. This stuff takes days and weeks to come to fruition. So clearly, during the game prep for the Commanders, he was putting his staff together.
And yeah, it was in the back of his head the whole time. He's just, ready to go.
And that's what pisses me off.
And it could, we could have won the Super Bowl, and then it comes up 2 years after the bowl. Boom, he's gone. And we would never say this. But if our defense was that bad, and Who fumbled?
Let's go.
Who fumbled? Quinshon?
Emeka Ibuka. Wait a second. Drew, is the knee down? No, that knee ain't down. That ball is out. That ball is out. Let's go.
How much
Let's
time?
go Irish. 31-15, and Ohio State was about to score again. But they fumbled.
Oh, it's out? Is it fumble?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's I mean, they're reviewing it, but the ball is so clearly out. That's a fumble. So did Notre Dame hop on it? Yeah. It's Notre Dame ball. Fourth quarter just started. So we got ourselves a game. So all right, we'll wrap this up then. So we can watch the finish of the Natty. But yeah, I'm with you. Pisses me off that that's clearly what was going on all week. And I don't know if you saw the one thing I want to mention. Guess who also is getting head coaching interviews? Cliff Kingsbury. And I don't know if you saw the story. So I don't know if you saw the story that he is not doing anything for head coaching interviews until the season's done. Like, he's told teams, like, yeah, I'll be interested in your head coaching job, but I'm not taking an interview till the season's over. It just sucks.
That's
a team guy
difference.
right there.
That's the difference. Yeah. Gosh, that sucks. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he actually wants to win football games.
Yeah, exactly. Because he cares about getting to a Super Bowl.
Got to Ben's head. Unbelievable.
Exactly. Sorry, Drew. Drew said, don't doubt his take on it. All right. Well, I appreciate you hopping on and talking. Yeah. I had some things I had to get off my chest. So.
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, I don't know. What do we got to talk about?
I don't know.
Who? Really quick. Who wins the AFC Championship? I know who you're rooting for, but who wins the AFC Champ? It's essentially a pick 'em.
Yeah, it's 1.5, which doesn't mean anything. It's a home team. No, I refuse. It's the Bills. I'm not even gonna say it. No, I don't even know who I want to win. I hate the NFL. I hate everyone who partakes in it. I think the Bills win.
I'm with you. I like the Bills. Yeah, I think at some point, the same way that at some point the defense had to catch up with the Lions, like the Chiefs not being very good has to catch up with them at some point, and the Bills are playing really good football right now. Big chunk play by Notre Dame, by the way, into OSU territory. About to cut it to a 1 score. At some point, he's got to catch up with the Chiefs, and like, dude, I think whoever wins the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl. So if I think the Bills are going to win, then I'm going Bills, which I do. I think the Bills are going to win.
Yeah,
that's my Super Bowl pick, and that's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders
that would be the fun Super Bowl winner.
Year. As the Eagles, they would beat the Eagles, but it's their third time playing. The Eagles have more talent.
Yeah,
so they'll wear them down and they'll win. First time seeing each other all year. Man, that Commanders team, they can score. Jane Dales is pretty dang good. But
I agree.
But it's the Bills. Hurts just sucks.
Yeah.
Hurts just stinks, dude.
Dude, I'm giving the Commanders a shot. I mean, I'm if you put a gun to my head, I would take the Eagles, but I give the Commanders a shot.
I mean, yeah, if we can't wear them down, but maybe the Eagles can't either. They kicked our butt.
I mean,
they smoked.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout, right? The Commanders can't stop anybody on defense, but they also can't be stopped on offense. So it's gonna be a shootout, and then I just think Jalen Hurts being injured could play a really big part in this game, and I think it's probably why the spread's so low. When the Commanders beat the Lions, that first line that came out, the hypothetical, was 8.5 points. Then after the Rams game, it dropped to 4.5.
Is he playing?
And I think they're really worried about Hurts. Because, I mean, I don't know. In the fourth quarter, he wasn't doing anything. He just turned around handing the ball to Saquon.
Interesting.
Could we see Kenny two gloves?
Oh, we got one Saturday, one Sunday? Or are they both Sunday?
Both Sunday. So NFC at 3 o'clock, AFC at 6:37. So
cool.
Should have been the freaking Lions at Ford Field, but all right, dog.
All right, man.
we'll hop off. Drew, thanks for sticking around and chatting with us.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll talk to y'all.
All right. Adios.
All right, appreciate it. Next
Yeah.
time we'll go on TikTok.
Okay.
Get some